those numbers if you can this time around. So let's listen in.
In this beautiful Commonwealth with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, great people, great people. You built this country, I have to tell you, you built this country. You're going to save this country too. You're going to save it. Because, you know, if we win Pennsylvania, not me, if we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole ball of wax. It's over. It's over. So I'd like to begin by asking you a very, very easy, simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? With your vote tomorrow, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals coming into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. You're going to have the American dream back. What a shame what they've done to our country. They have destroyed our country, but we're going to get it back and fast. We're a nation in decline, but that will not be long, believe me. And after 4 years of economic suffering, we will create the greatest economic boom the world has ever seen. They're all coming back. All those companies that left us with the jobs, they're all coming back. Think of this, though. We're just one day away. Oh, we've been waiting for this. I've been waiting 4 years for this. And so have you. And so have you. We've all been waiting 4 years. One day, you gotta show up. I don't want any money. I don't want anything. Just show up and bring your vote. And if you have somebody else that got a little lazy, bring that person too. Say, Jim, you gotta get off the damn couch. Come on. We gotta make America great again, Jim. We're just one day away from what will be the most important political event in the history of our country. But you have to get out. We have to vote. Just show up and vote. I'd love to, really, what we should do is swamp them. Just swamp them tomorrow. You know, we have a massive lead. I don't even like telling you that, to be honest with you. We have a massive lead. First time ever, a Republican was leading by a lot in early, but it didn't happen. The Republicans would always be way behind. They believe in going on election day. So we're going to let you go on election day, right? But they waited till the end always. Democrats would always have hundreds of thousands of votes, and then you either catch them or you don't. You never know what's going to happen. But Republicans have never been in the lead, and not like this. It's a big number. So we have to just get at, you know, the ball is in our hand. We're at the 2-yard line, maybe the 1-yard line, but it's in our hand, and we put it over that. It'll be the biggest event maybe in the history of our country. And let me tell you, it will be also something much more important than that. It's going to save our country, because our country is in trouble. But that's all you need to know. And another thing you want to know is Kamala broke it, and I will fix it, and fast. America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure. That's what it was, 4 years of gross. Nothing good happened. What good happened? They cheated on their numbers. You saw last week they cheated on all their economic. We're in like a depression territory. I'll give you a little advance notice, 12,000 jobs. When did you hear that? That's like for Walmart. That's not for us. That's not for a country. It's 250, 300, 400, 100, 12,000. We lost hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs over the last month. Think of that. It's going to be that, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We're going to make these unbelievable years, and we're starting from a negative. You know, we're starting from like about 15 yards off the field. We're not starting at the 20. We're starting from 15 yards off the field. And speaking of football, maybe we can get the NFL to drop that ridiculous kickoff sit. What the hell are they? What is that? I watched the game the other day. I said, what the hell happened? They just kicked off and nobody moved. Oh, well, that's up to them. This will be the golden age of America. Tomorrow, it's a beautiful term, isn't it? I was saying before, I was just proofing and reading and studying and all that stuff. And what a beautiful term, the golden age. We're going to be in the golden age. Won't take long. So tomorrow you have to stand up and tell Kamala that you've had enough. You're not going to take it anymore. You're the most incompetent vice president we've ever had. And Joe Biden was the worst president in the history of our country. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. This is a hell of a nice place. Thank you. With your vote, we're going to win Pennsylvania, and we're going to defeat Kamala and those radical left, what they're doing to our country. Crazy Nancy Pelosi. What's about her? She has Visa stock, a big position. You know, she started off with nothing. Now she's worth $200 billion. How did that happen? So she has Visa stock, and she sells her stock. The day before, it was announced that Visa's under major federal investigation. I don't know. I wonder, do you think she had any insider information? I don't know. Honestly, she's a disgrace. They ought to throw her the hell out of Congress. We are going to make America great again, and it's going to be fast. We're going to do it fast. We'll fast track it. Over the past 4 years, Kamala has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted upon our people. She's violated her oath of office. She's eradicated our sovereign border and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions, from all around the world, from Venezuela and the Congo in Africa, stealing countless American lives. And these are rough customers that are coming, much rougher than almost anybody in this room, other than the other night I had the Penn State national champion wrestling team. Think of this. They have a great coach. They've won exactly 11 out of the last 13 national championships. And I looked at these guys, they came up, I brought them up. And we were at Penn State when we did a little bit of a rally. It was a little rally that we could have sold the place out about 15 times. But we brought them up. I heard they were here, and I brought them up. And they had more muscle than I ever saw in any human being. And I looked at them and I said, you know, fellas, you may be the only ones in this room, in this country, that could take the migrants in a fight. You may be the only ones. Then I said, but they fight dirty. They use knives and guns, and they do, and they are vicious and they're tough. And we're going to get them the hell out. We have to. Our country's being destroyed. Our country is being destroyed. Here today, there's an incredible woman who I got to know actually over this tragedy, Patty Morin, whose heartbreaking story is a tragic warning of what will come to every city in America. It's coming to every city. It's already there. I mean, they don't want to even talk about it, but it's coming. It's only going to get worse. And by the way, 21 million people she allowed in, open borders. We have no idea who they are, and many of them are bad. If she ever won, I hate to even mention that concept, she's incompetent. If she ever won, she would have open borders the following day after the election.
If you knew Rachel, everybody in our town knew Rachel. They loved her. She was a tiny little Spitfire. She was like 5 feet, 5'2". She loved her children. She was very dedicated to them. She was a small businesswoman. She worked very hard to support her children. She was physically active. She took very good care of herself. And after she passed away, we did a walk in our town. And we had over 2,000 people come out to the walk. And of the people that came out to the walk, they said to me, I didn't know her personally, but we bought coffee at the same place. And she always said hi, and she always had a smile. I had on the walk people that had immigrated into this country. And one of them that really touched my heart was a tiny little Cuban lady. She had left her country and had come here for safety reasons. She had just had 2 knee replacements, and her daughter knew my daughter, but her daughter had to work that day. So this lady with the 2 little knee replacements walked the trail for her daughter because her daughter was so impressed and so moved by Rachel. And this woman, at the end of the walk, wanted to take a picture with me and offered me $1, because that's what she had in her pocket, to help towards expenses for my daughter. I told her to take the money and take her daughter out to lunch and give her a hug. But family is the most important thing that we have. There's a proverb, and the proverb says, when a righteous man reigns, the people rejoice. But when wickedness reigns, the people mourn. And it's been 4 years of our country mourning because of the hardships that have been inflicted on us that are unnecessary, totally unnecessary. So thank you for allowing me this time.
Thank you very much.
And this is our next president of the United States. He's an awesome man.
Did you get your license?
Not yet.
You got it? You got it?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this.
It's an honor to be there. Looking down, right? She's looking down. Look at the crowd on the right.
Yes.
You guys looking down.
You're gonna make me cry.
Hmm?
You're gonna make me cry. Thank you.
Let me walk out. Thank you very much. Thank you, Patty. Great woman, really incredible. How do you do that? I don't know. She did something that's very hard to do. I couldn't do it, I don't think. Very hard to do what she just did so beautifully, too. And last night we had a woman from Puerto Rico, Carmen, lost her daughter, Mimi, same kind of thing. A migrant came in from a country, just brutal. They're just killers. I mean, they don't care. Her daughter was also beautiful. And Rachel was beautiful. But a similar thing killed, and the woman got up, killed 5 days ago. And the woman got up and she just spoke. And both of them, the job is to do that. I don't know how you do it, but they are incredible. They're incredible people. We have incredible people in this country, I tell you. And we can't let savages come in from other countries and take them out. We can't let these animals come in for other countries. They come in and they take them out, and then they're protected by the radical left. It's a terrible thing that's happening, and it's levels. When I was in this debate with the three people, 2.5, I figured, the 2 anchors and a half a candidate. And David Muir, when I said about, no, crime's way up. No, it's not, it's down. I said, am I debating you? And the next day, somebody at Justice Department actually likes me. They released the numbers. It was up 45%. Crime was up, way up right now. And you have a new crime that you can add. It's called migrant crime. And it's as vicious as it's a level of viciousness. And I put up tapes, but you know, the problem is the fake news never puts the tapes on. A friend of mine calls me and he says, I watch all your rallies. They're the greatest rallies. But you know, when you put those tapes up, the cameras, look at all those cameras over there. They don't have one camera that goes, and all it has to do is go an inch here, an inch here, and you have it. They don't put them on television because they don't want to see the horror show of those tapes. So I don't even bother with them anymore because it's ridiculous. Isn't it ridiculous? And you know, it would be actually better for the networks, better. I mean, you're showing things of great interest and they're horrible to watch. They're horrible to watch. But I don't put them up anymore pretty much because they won't put them on. They won't move the camera an inch and an inch. Isn't that terrible? You know why? Because it's fake news. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. It's not going to be occupied long. If you had the tapes, you'd see where they take over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. I hope Colorado votes. You know, Colorado, the governor, is a weak, ineffective guy. He's a radical left lunatic, and he's petrified of the people. It's a gang from Venezuela, very nasty, along with MS-13. They're probably the two worst gangs, and vicious. He doesn't know what to do. All talk, you know, they're all talk. And yet when I was the leading candidate who were going through the country like easily, routinely, he decided that he's going to try and take me off the ballot. That doesn't sound very democratic, does it? You know, they always say, he's a threat, me. I'm a threat to democracy. I'm the one that's saving democracy, just so you know. And this weak, ineffective governor got his attorney general to push it, and they tried to take me off the ballot. It went through a whole court system, and the Supreme Court of the United States, and it was very important that they did this. They voted 9-0, including the 3 justices that sometimes would maybe not vote for something like this. I have respect for them. They voted 9-0. You can't do that. You just can't do that. You have to take them out with the ballots. So that was good. It's it. And the people of Colorado at the time, see, time flies and now people forget about it. But at the time they did polls and they were doing, Trump was going to win Colorado, not traditionally a swing state, but they were furious. And the Democrats were actually more angry than the Republicans. It's pretty amazing. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. And on day one, I will launch the largest deportation program of criminals in American history. We're going to get them out. We have to. Dwight Eisenhower has the record. He was a very moderate kind of a guy. He was a good general. He's a good president, too, better than a lot of people think. He built the interstate system, did a good job, but he hated the concept of people pouring into our country. And he has the record, but we're going to unfortunately beat the record. It's not something I want to do. But this is not sustainable by any country. They're taking over your towns, your schools, your hospitals. Springfield, Ohio, 52,000 people in the town. They dropped 30,000 migrants into the town. And now they can't use their hospitals. They can't use their school systems. I will rescue a town that has been invaded and conquered. Can you imagine? I'm up here making a speech, talking about towns and cities and big cities. Look, I see New York. I see what happened. And the mayor made some nasty statements about it. You know, the mayor Adams, he made statements about this is not sustainable. We can't, I mean, you have to help us with this. Hundreds of thousands of people are piling into New York. You have to help us. And I said to my people, he'll be indicted shortly. They indicted him. One of the indictments is he was upgraded in an airliner. Everyone gets upgraded. Anybody who's gotten upgraded, please raise your hand. You will be indicted. No, think of this. I've been upgraded. I used to fly that way. They used to upgrade me all the time. That would mean I have a potential additional investigation because I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. Think about it. He killed people at will. If he went out to dinner with this handsome gentleman right here and he didn't like him, he said, "You're looking at me the wrong way. I don't like you." He had no chance of making it out of the dining room. And I got investigated. Think of it. I got investigated more, and I did nothing wrong. And I have to say the Republican Party really stuck up for me. They said, "This is ridiculous." Unanimously. And they'll put the vicious and bloodthirsty criminals, we're going to get them, we're going to throw them out of the country, first choice. If they're really crazy vicious, and we have many of them, don't forget, of the 1,399 that are murderers, many of them committed 2 murders. Of these people, I don't know, I'd almost rather keep them in jail, because, if they come back, now we're going to have something about them coming back. It's serious, and we'll tell you about it. But we're going to either put them in jail or we're going to get them. And for the most part, we want to just get them the hell out of our country, right? No, they're emptying their jails and mental institutions to expedite removals of the removal of ᖴદેᒪᒪ and other violent gangs like MS-13, all savage gangs, tough gangs. They're tough, they're nasty. And that's why I want to be with those Penn State guys. I feel very good. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. 1798, that's when they ran the country a little tougher than we run it today. Today, you get a little slap in the wrist when you kill somebody. You kill somebody. Oh. Now, if you fight for a fair and free election,